I speak to you in the name of the living God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Please be seated. Good morning, church. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. I love that. I love that passage in John. Well, welcome to Christmas Day. For most of us, if not all of us, we've already celebrated our Christmases with our families, maybe opened our presents, eaten a hearty breakfast. I'm looking forward to the hearty breakfast. And now we've come to church to revisit the manger, to see Jesus the baby. And yet today we hear no birth narrative, no babe in a manger, no shepherd visited by angels, no star, not even a little boy with an obnoxious drum. No Charlie Brown Christmas today, no children parading in costumes to reenact the creche scene. No, today we speak about light and dark, about the Word. Today we hear a very different birth narrative. Very important birth narrative, but a very different birth narrative. One we should all know all too well, as it is the world that we live in, the creation that we enjoy, and the darkness we all experience in our lives. Today we hear another birth narrative just as important, but this birth narrative is a cosmic birth narrative. What we hear today is the birth of all creation, everything. For John, the birth of creation is the source of our salvation. After all, salvation comes from our Creator. Now, in the other gospel accounts, the birth of Jesus is a temporal event. We even have a time stamp on our other narratives. In Luke chapter 2, it tells us this: in those days a decree went out from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be enrolled. This is the first enrollment when Quirinius was governor of Syria. Now, these time stamps are all throughout the Bible, and they give us an opportunity to pinpoint the exact time when, or possibly the region that an event took place. And we see this in our other Gospels, but not in John. In John's narrative, the birth happens outside of time and space. Time doesn't mean anything in the cosmic creation story. There is no time stamp. Rather, there's a beginning with no end. This story is meant to take us back to Genesis 1, when the heavens and the earth was created. God has been working on our behalf from the very beginning, when the earth was a formless void in Genesis 1:1. Before Adam named the animals in the field or the birds in the air, God created the light and declared it was good. Now, John reminds us that in the beginning was the Word, the Logos, the Word. And through this same Word, capital W Word, all things were created, and nothing was created without the Word or the Logos. Lest we forget, Jesus is the Word. Jesus did not come to earth as an alien or a stranger when he was born and laid in a manger. Jesus knows his creation. The world came into being through him, and he came into his own. Verses 10 and 11 of our reading today. Now in verse 4, John will shift from the Word to the light. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. Verses 4 and 5. John will also introduce us to John the Witness. Now, John the Witness, John the Baptist, as we've known him in other Gospels, but John is never called the Baptist in the Gospel of John, only the Witness. This John's calling is to testify or witness to the light that has come into the world. John's insertion into this narrative is to remind us that we too are sent into the darkness of the world to witness to the light, to reflect that light into a dark world. This same light shines in the December darkness. The same light penetrates the commercialism that began before Halloween, trying to draw our attention away from the light that enters the world for our salvation. We are called, like John, to witness to this light, to reflect light into the broken world. So that light, capital L light, can illumine and show the path to salvation. When the light comes into the world, all of creation responds. Isaiah 55:12 says, "The mountains and hills shall burst into song, and all the trees of the field shall clap their hands." It's little wonder that the words from the English Congregationalist Isaac Watts, penned in 1719, are widely known and sung with gusto in both secular and sacred settings. I think you know these words. "Joy to the world, the Lord has come. Let earth receive her King." The light that has come into the world, full of grace and truth, will not be a privileged gift for only a few or a particular segment of the population, or even reserved for humankind. No, this light that has come into the world is for all creation. Fields, flocks, rocks, hills, and plains. They're overcome with glee. So today, on this Christmas day, let us join with the angels and the heavenly hosts and raise our voices in unison across the globe and repeat the sounding joy as heaven and nature sing. Merry Christmas.